having waited 23 years to get back here, Forest aren't going to go down without a fight, that's for sure. Unsurprisingly, this city ground has been their fortress, with only Newcastle and Manchester United winners here since October. The Saints are on the slippery slope to the Championship, unless they can win tonight. Slippery being the operative word, as it's been tipping down since tea time here in the East Midlands. Supporters on the concourse look wetter than if they'd gone for a dip in the trend. So conditions are not ideal, but then the form of these two sides isn't ideal either. Let's run you through the two teams. Forest have Navas in goal, Aurier, Felipe, Niakate and Lodi across the back. It's Mangala, Yates and Danilo in midfield, with Johnson, Iwonyi and Gibbs-White leading the line. As for Southampton, McCarthy's in goal, Maitland-Niles, Bednarek, Bella Kochap and Walker-Peters across the back. Ward-Prowse and Lavia are the two holding midfielders, with Armstrong, Walcott and Alcaraz providing the support to Che Adams, who's back in the starting 11 for Southampton. Amongst the substitutes for Forest tonight, Willie Bolly back ahead of what was expected on his timetable, and Joe Worrell, who started the last game, he's dropped down to the bench, while for Southampton, Onuachu, the 6'7" striker, who was brought to score goals, has only made 3 Premier League appearances. He is back from injury and he is amongst the substitutes tonight for Ruben Sellers' side. Michael Oliver is the man who will take charge of this final Premier League fixture of this elongated bank holiday weekend. They will sing again. Sam mentioned earlier how this became their adopted theme, and they changed a few lyrics, but it's spine-tingling stuff of the city ground. The red and white scarves are in the air around us, and even after the music stops, the Forest fans continue. What an atmosphere, and what a game we have in store. A victory for Forest, they'll leapfrog Everton and go up to 16th in the table. For the Saints, they can close the gap on those above them and still keep a slim hope of survival in the Premier League going. Michael Oliver is ready. They're in turquoise. Southampton kicking from right to left towards the Trent end in the opening 45 minutes, and we are up and running. And it's the Saints who get us underway, and Felipe immediately with a towering header from the edge of the Nottingham Forest penalty area. Aurier as well, trying to get it forward to Iwonyi, who will chase this ball down as McCarthy clears first time from the edge of his 6-yard box away to our right hand side. And the noise inside the city ground is absolutely deafening as Brennan Johnson tries to flick the ball on to midway inside the Southampton half, but at the moment it's long balls punted forward from either end. Oh, that's a terrible mistake, and it's up in the air, and it's going to be punched away this time by Navas, who's been caught, as he knew Niakate was the player who made the error, and it gives Southampton an opportunity down that right hand side, maybe to try and deliver a ball into the penalty area, which Walker-Peters does, and it goes out for a throw on that right hand side, but almost an early disaster for Forest, Danny Murphy.
Yeah, and that's all come from a start from Southampton, where they've gone, we're away from hostile atmosphere, we're going to go long and long early, like that. Don't try and overplay, get in the game, get in the Forest half.
Niakate has been a regular last 9 Premier League games he started here for Forest, but almost with a horrific error that allowed Southampton in. So Walker-Peters reverted to his preferred right back position today, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles has come out to this left hand side as those changes from Southampton in the starting lineup take shape. Picked up inside the centre circle by Lavia, and he gets it wide to the right hand side where Walker-Peters has it once more, just over halfway, just feints and then takes on Gibbs-White and does well, gets past his challenge but can't win it a second time, but then he gets some help this time from Theo Walcott, and the ball into the feet that time of Alcaraz, who is under pressure. Southampton keep possession though, just inside the Forest half, away to our left hand side. Lavia again just finds himself a bit of space and sets Che Adams away, left hand edge of the penalty area. Adams cutting onto his right foot, then tries to bend one, and it's just over the top of Navas's crossbar. Nothing for the Costa Rican to worry about, and it's out behind for a goal kick to Forest.
Positive, isn't it though, from Adams, running the channel, getting the ball to his feet, thinking, you know what, get it out of my feet and have a dig, get some confidence up, try and test the goalkeeper.
100th league meeting between these two sides, the first of which was back in 1925, It's the 52nd that's taken place in the top tier, but the first Premier League meeting at the City Ground since 1998. And it's Forest who have possession at the edge of their own penalty area. Navas goes long and wide down that left-hand touchline, looking for the advancing Lodi to try and pick up possession. They get a handball. Do they know? The referee waves away and says it was chest, and it means Southampton can gather possession once more, and they can deep inside their own half. And Bella Kochak will just roll the ball to the right-hand side. Jan Bednarek was recalled from his Villa loan in January. He's been ever present in that Southampton defence since then. And it's Forest who have it from deep inside their own half. Lodi again tries to get that ball forward down that far touchline. His opposite number though, Theo Walcott, will get in and make the challenge. And it's a throw to Forest, which, when you're talking about time being taken out of the game, Forest tend to take their throw-ins very quickly and try and keep the tempo going.
Well, I think they want to do that to keep that crowd on board. This wonderful atmosphere, amazing support. Talking about their I mean, every time they play here, they get behind them, no matter what. And not every team down the bottom's got that luxury. So they want to keep them on board as long as possible.
Is this a place you've ever enjoyed coming? Oh, that's a lovely ball through to Iwanyi. We'll find out in a minute as out comes McCarthy, and he has to deal with it. But the offside flag's up anyway.
Do you know what? In all my years, actually, I think it was only my first year, 96, 97, that they were in the Premier League. And when then they got relegated, so it was not a team I faced very often.
I should have realised you never dropped down, Danny. That was very foolish.
I did near the end, just for a year.
It's McCarthy at the edge of his own penalty area away to our right hand side. We've been playing for 4 minutes here on Talksport at the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Southampton 0. Good pressing from Forest, just pushing Southampton back towards the edge of their own penalty area, where Bednarek is there, and he gets the ball forward to Ward-Prowse, who lays off nicely to Walker-Peters, who's on a charge down that right-hand touchline, combines with Walcott towards the edge of the penalty area, tries to slip it through to Che Adams, who looks to flick it back to the on-rushing Walcott, but in the end it's a decent foot in at the edge of the penalty area from Felipe, and Forest can get it clear, but only as far as halfway, and Southampton pressing again.
Good start from them, nice and confident. I said to you earlier, there's a freedom that comes with this game for Southampton tonight. People think that because they're rock bottom and there's big pressure and they have to win. They know most people think they're down, so nobody's giving them a chance. And the manager would have said that. Don't play with a freedom, express yourself. It's the worst that can happen.
Southampton having the better of the early possession. Sam mentioned earlier, away from home, a much better side, Southampton, than they have been at home at St Mary's. 4 of their 6 Premier League wins have been away from home. 2 victories in the last 8 on the road at Everton and Chelsea, so they can go to difficult places and garner results for sure. And there's none much more difficult than the City Ground, particularly this season. Here's Maitland-Niles trying to ping a long ball through, but Navas will easily gather that around the penalty spot and will have a chance to drive Forest forward. He's not had the best of times since coming into the starting 11 here at Forest. His 15th Premier League appearance since his loan from PSG. He's conceded 25 goals in the last 13 appearances. A sign of where the roots of the problems lie for this Forest side. Here's Brennan Johnson, just can't control it well enough. It cannons off him. Alcaraz into the feet of Walcott, 25 yards from goal. Walcott sits it in. Che Adams with a chance on his right foot. Oh, and it's blocked. And it's a terrific block from Felipe. And it's behind for a corner down this left-hand side.
Great chance for Adams. Should have done better. 10 yards out on his right foot. He's got to beat the defender with his shot. It's poor playing out from Forest. They make their own problems, win it back well, Southampton, and then Walcott does well on the edge of the box, slide in Che Adams, and he does nothing really, doesn't manipulate the ball enough to create the space, makes it easy.
Ward-Prowse delivery this time not the best. It's headed clear at the near post by Mangala, I think, who got the initial header on that. Another opportunity here for Ward-Prowse to deliver down this side. 21 goals they've conceded from set pieces this season at Forest. Real opportunity here maybe for Southampton to strike early. They've gone short to Armstrong, back to Ward-Prowse, who lifts it towards the back post. It's going to be cleared away from inside the penalty area, and it is. It's cleared away well over halfway by Iwanyi, who's chasing that one down, but McCarthy will get there first from out of his penalty area. And Southampton again will gather position, and they're having much better of the early exchanges here, Danny Murphy.
They are. They've started really confidently. They've got a nice shape. Lavia holding. He's got Alcaraz and Ward-Prowse playing high. They've got the 2 wide men keeping the pitch long. It's a really good shape to Southampton at the moment.
7.5 minutes on the clock on Talksport. Exclusive national radio commentary from the City Ground from the Premier League. Here's Yates, restored to the starting lineup following injury, gets it forward to Johnson, then back to halfway where Serge Aurier's there. Signed a 1-year deal, but if they stay up, automatically triggering a second year on the contract for Aurier, and he has been fairly effective when you look at the numbers for Forest when he started through this season. He thought maybe the liability he was at times at Spurs, but he's delivered. Danilo out wide on that left-hand side. Left-footed ball swung into the penalty area. Rodney's trying to get there, and McCarthy does well. Brave goalkeeping at the edge of the 6-yard box to gather.
First attack for Forest, Loddy down the left-hand side, whips in a decent ball, just bounces just before the keeper scoops it up, did well. Tidy hands.
Iwanyu is just the 4 Premier League goals so far this season. 5th consecutive start for him though. A bit more faith being shown in him by Steve Cooper, and it was always going to be difficult with so many new players, wasn't it? Particularly those that are new to the Premier League as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard enough with the same group of players to adapt to the Premier League from the Championship, never mind then to have an influx of 20 plus new players. It's been a real jigsaw puzzle for him.
Does it feel like he's finally making some sense of it?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. There's, I think he'd like to be a bit more expensive than this particular Forest side, but you've got to make do with what you've got. They've become harder to beat in recent times.
Here's Will Prowse, right on the right-hand side is Walker-Peters, ball into the penalty area. Felipe's there with one header, then it was a bit casual, had to do a second as he was being closed down by Wilcott, but they try and break, and they can now with Gibbs White, and all of a sudden it's 3-on-3. Gibbs White from wide on the left-hand side, running more central, slips into Johnson, edge of the penalty area. First touch wasn't the best, but he still drills the ball across the 6-yard area. Iwanyu stood in but couldn't quite get a touch.
It's a good break. Gibbs White, we talked about him before the game, so crucial to the creativity of this Forest side. He's running at the back 4, back 3 actually, they've lost one, and then it comes out to Brennan Johnson on the right hand side. He doesn't really have an idea of what to do. He gets his head down, he drills it across the far post, goes out for a goal kick, but he's got good numbers in the box. Just needs to be a bit cuter there, try and pick someone out in the middle.
Iwanyu was half a yard too late as he slid in, as we mentioned at the lead up to kick-off. Absolutely been bucketing it down here, still is in fact, at the City Ground. Very wet surface, but ball pinging around. Here's Bednarek midway inside his own half as we just past the 10-minute mark here on game night on Talksport, where it remains Forest 0, Southampton 0. Crucial game at the bottom, remember, with Fulham beating Leicester 5-3 this afternoon, and then that shocking result from the Amex. Brighton 1, Everton 5. So Everton climbing up to 16th place on 32 points. Forest can go above them with a win tonight. Here's Armstrong. He's got away from Johnson, and now away from Aurier, who slides in with a challenge. Good tackle that was needed in the end. He was right by the corner flag, but he does win Southampton a third corner already. Armstrong on the run, former Celtic man of course. Ward-Prowse will be responsible for the delivery as ever. The only outfield player for Southampton to start every single Premier League game. Pinpoint accuracy so often from these set pieces. It's Ward-Prowse who will deliver again. Walcott gets a flick onto the back post and it evades everyone and spins out of play for what will be a goal kick to Nottingham Forest, inches away.
Clever little run from Walcott. He came from the back post towards the near post, got a little flick of Ward-Prowse's corner, but there was nobody coming in on that back post. If they had been, they would have had an easy tap in.
You're listening to Nottingham Forest versus Southampton on Talksport with Now Sports. Don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Forest against Southampton live right now for $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. Almost 12 minutes played. Remains 0-0. Lodi on that far side tries to get it forward in towards Iwanyu, but it's read by Bednarek and he's fouled, and it will be a free kick for Southampton from midway inside their own half. Both coaches cutting lonely figures in their technical areas. Arms folded for Steve Cooper, who came out before to a rounding round of applause from everyone. It's rousing, and he comes out always early just to applaud the fans to get that atmosphere going at the City Ground. Ruben Sellés much more animated in his technical area down below. He'll be animated now because they've given the ball away to Brennan Johnson on halfway, and I think Yates there was just looking as if to say, you've given it to me but I've got nowhere to go and no support. So Armstrong dispossesses him. Good sliding challenge from Aurier, picked up down this left hand side though now by Adams, into the penalty area for Armstrong, lays it back to Adams. It was a neat flick, but again Adams just overrunning the ball in the conditions, and now Forest will try and break, and they do. Gibbs White tries to set it through that time to Brennan Johnson, who was on the run. There's a feels of a handball, but the referee not interested, and it's Bella Kochap who gets it safely back to McCarthy away to our right hand side. Breakneck speed this game's been played.
It's been a really good start, yeah, good tempo. Southampton looking the calmer of the two sides actually, apart from the manager who's apoplectic on the touchline every time they go forward or back.
Felipe does well, just blocks up a run by Che Adams inside the left edge of the penalty area for Saints. And now they'll bring it clear, and it will be the Brazilian again. On loan, of course, from Atletico Madrid, former Porto man. Started the last 13 Premier League games, the longest run by any of the centre-halves that I think Steve Cooper's had in his possession throughout this season. So many injuries to deal with for this Forest side. Probably a good job they had so many players. Here's Maitland-Niles back to Bella Kochap, born in Paris, the 21-year-old German. Here's Maitland-Niles again. He's even played at centre half for this Saints side this year as Maitland-Niles. It's left back today, which is a new position for him. He's played right back, he's played in midfield, and now on the left side today as Ruben Sellés rolls the dice once more with his starting 11. Armstrong down this left-hand side, looks for Che Adams. Adams towards the edge of the penalty area. Aurier just stands him up, comes back in field to Maitland-Niles again. Now Adams once more, who in bright pink boots thinks about the ball into the penalty area early, but it's good exchange of passes from him and Armstrong, and from Maitland-Niles as well. Picked up by Armstrong 25 yards out to Maitland-Niles on this near side, and Southampton with a patient build-up will look to build again, back to halfway. And Bella Kochap again will find Bednarek inside the centre circle. Will pass into the feet of Adams. It's too easy to play through that midfield of Forest right now, but they won it back here with Mengal. He'll turn out to that far touchline where it's picked up by Gibbs White, and now finally Forest have a bit of time on the ball and a calmness where potentially they can start to build. Quarter of an hour on the clock. Game night on Talksport. It's Forest nil, Southampton. Felipe gives it short to Yates. Right hand side, Aurier, infield again to Yates. Shoulder injury is what kept him out. He was a sub last time out for Southampton in that game at Newcastle. And after the request of Ruben Sellés, the throw-in goes Southampton's way on this near side. Going to be taken by Armstrong. I think they're going to take their time. Southampton, there's a lot of stats going around the last few days about time being wasted on goal kicks. Southampton do tend to take, I think it's the longest, certainly one of the longest to take a throw in. That's 17 seconds I think usually before they get the ball back into play. And it was about that long there before eventually Maitland-Niles could deliver it forward. One is away here, no. I think there was a chance for the break and an advantage to be played, but referee Michael Oliver has called the foul on Ryan Yates, much to the annoyance of Steve Cooper, and as you can tell, the home support.
I still never understand why they can still get that wrong, referees, because you can always let it go because you can bring it back. You're allowed to bring it back. You're in control with the whistle. Let it go. With no advantage, bring it back. Really simple.
Yeah, no doubt that was a foul from Alcaraz on Yates, and Iwanyi would have been away. But Michael Oliver blew his whistle early, and Forest have possession with Navas again away to our left-hand side. Forest nil, Southampton nil. Huge game at the bottom. Game night on Talksport. Poor pass out from Felipe.
He's been poor with his passing out, Felipe. He's been a real weak link so far. He looks too anxious. Just give it to the midfielders. Let them do the passing. Don't need to be the playmaker from there.
Bednarek strides over halfway for Southampton in that blue away kit. Putting patterns away from, of course, the usual red and white, because that's the colour that Forest are donning tonight, as usual, here at the City Ground. Long one sent through towards Adams, but he's penalised for the foul. And again, it's a really quick free kick taken by Forest, and a diagonal ball that's trying to find Brennan Johnson, who gets there inside the box, cuts it across to Iwanyi, who scores for Nottingham Forest. Iwanyi, the Premier League goal of the season, and the City ground erupts, and Nottingham Forest have the lead in this crucial basement battle with 17 minutes played. It's Forest 1, Southampton 0. Listen to that noise. It's a stunning counter-attack from Nottingham Forest, and it's paid its rewards. McCarthy did get a hand to it though, Danny.
It's an absolutely brilliant ball. I think it's Danilo, left-footed, out to Brennan Johnson on the right. It's perfectly weighted. It allows him to run onto it. We said he didn't pick a cross out before, but he did that time, and he put it on an absolute plate for Iwanyi. He's nearly on the penalty spot, fires it past the goalkeeper. Brilliant move.
Well, Iwanyi's last Premier League goal came against Southampton back in January. He's scored again, and he's unveiled a message on his t-shirt. And Iwanyi taps his heart and taps his badge, and he's given Forest the lead here. And listen to this place now. Wow, that takes Forest out of the drop zone, up to 17th in the table, 16th in the table if it was to stay like this, on 33 points. However, long way to go, and here's a chance, and the shot's gone wide from the edge of the penalty area by Carlos Alcaraz. Just tried to bend one with the inside of his right foot, and Navas didn't move. I'm not sure if that was confidence or if he would have got anywhere near it.
Well, it was a good effort. Lodi slipped, I think. Couldn't quite get the clearance, and it ended up falling to Alcaraz, who tried to whip the life out of it into that far post. Didn't get enough on it.
Tell you what, some atmosphere here tonight. It'll be equally as good tomorrow night. We're on Champions League duty, semi-final, first leg. Real Madrid against Manchester City is live on Talksport from the Bernabeu. Jim Proudfoot and the former Manchester City manager Stuart Pearce will be alongside Adrian for that one tomorrow evening. And then on Wednesday night, AC Milan against Inter, that historic Champions League Milan derby. Sam will be with you for that one, with Danny Mills as well. Got the Champions League covered. We've got the Conference League semi-final with West Ham on Thursday night, and then on Friday night we're into the playoffs. League One, Peterborough against Sheffield Wednesday. That's live on Talksport 2 on Friday night as well. Here come Forest down that left-hand side, dispossessed Lodi, and he has to be helped out that time, and he is on that far touchline by Niakate. He's got the ball back at his feet, 10 yards short of halfway. Terrific noise inside the stadium. And here they come again down the right-hand side, and it's with Aurier. Just gives it short to Yates. Aurier then looks to just turn it inside to Brennan Johnson. He's done well. He's won it back. Aurier, chance to cross on the right-hand side. Takes a deflection up in the air. Is not quite going to fall for Gibbs right, but it is driven in by the left foot of Danilo, and it's cleared. Yates on that far side. Danilo again inside the box. Tips up. Iwanyi! He's got two! Teo Iwanyi for Nottingham Forest. They've doubled their advantage inside 21 minutes, and the roof is off the City ground right now. Iwanyi at the double. Forest 2 up, and Southampton look like they're heading for the championship.
What a brilliant finish from Iwanyi. Good move again from Forest, keeping the pressure on. Not the best ball in from Lodi when it falls to Iwanyi. Flicks it up, gets that lovely finish, and he turns on the volley. He's too strong for the defender. Alcaraz gives the ball away on the left side to start their problem.
It was a terrific finish, wasn't it? Aurier did so well, closing that down. Danilo with the initial flick over the top, and it is a super. I mean, both of his finishes have been super.
Well, he's been involved in both, hasn't he, Danilo? I mean, We're just watching it back. We're fortunate enough to be able to watch it as we're transferred. Gets a little flick there. It's one touch finish from Iwonyi. Sorry, he didn't flick it out. Just there, the touch. Crucial touch, wasn't it, from Danilo? He spins the defender. What a volley that is.
It's from about 8 yards out. Both of those finishes absolutely unstoppable, aren't they? And Forest lead by 2 goals to 0. No wonder Ruben Sellers is mopping his furrowed brow, partly because of the rain, but also because of the fact his side, as we reach the midway point of the first half here on Talksport, they trail by 2 goals to 0. Well, here's Alcaraz. It's going to take some escape from him if they're going to try and deliver on this. Down that right-hand side, Walker-Peters does brilliantly. Gets to the byline, across the 6-yard box. Armstrong with a chance, drills the shot. And again, that man, Serge Aurier, is there with a terrific block at the edge of the 6-yard area, and it's a corner.
They got themselves in some good positions, Southampton. I mean, up until the goal, they'd started quite well. This is a ball that comes over from the right-hand side. It's really good play from Walker-Peters. Comes to Armstrong, who tries to smash it in with his left foot, and it's a block from Serge Aurier. Really good block, stayed on his feet well.
Here's Ward-Prowse. It's flicked on again at the near post as the run was made once more by Walcott and by Bednarek. But this one goes over the top of the crossbar. Again, it was Walcott who made that run. They didn't pick him up first time, and they've not picked him second time either.
Well, I think that's what the staff are talking about. You've got Steve Cooper and his assistant down there screaming onto the players. Follow him, get in front of him. It's too easy.
We are in the midst of 15 days of back-to-back live football right now across the Talksport network, and I'm not sure there'll be a noise quite like this anywhere else in the coming weeks. It is unbelievably loud, and no surprise, the home team are 2 in front. Here's Armstrong, little flick on inside the centre circle, he's given possession away. Aurier, they're playing like a man possessed in the last 5 minutes or so. Brennan Johnson clips the ball that was in between Danilo and Brennan Johnson. They've managed to keep possession through Renan Lodi on that far side. Gives it short here, and it's Danilo who just helps on his way. And back once more with Mangala, and Forest now need to be patient. Gibbs White has just given that ball away, and now Che Adams is away, needs some support. Alcaraz is coming to the right, Armstrong to the left, he feeds it to Stuart Armstrong on his left foot, gets it across again, Alcaraz with a finish, and Southampton are back in it. It's 2-1, and it's Alcaraz who scored for the Saints. The breakaway, Forest got caught, Gibbs White guilty of giving away possession on the halfway line, and then Che Adams and Armstrong combine to set up Alcaraz, and with 25 minutes played, it's game on here. Forest 2, Southampton 1.
Well, it was tight, clever finish when it got to him, calm finish I should say. Giveaway in their own half, it is Gibbs White, a sloppy pass, Ward-Prowse nips in, Adams, they got a 3v2, I actually thought he played the wrong pass coming left. Armstrong's touch wasn't great, so he slots it back into the path of Alcaraz, and it's a calm finish, really clinical goal, puts them right back in this game.
Well, Nia Kate went sliding in, and he ended up playing Alcaraz onside with his slide in his attempt to block the pass.
It's actually a really clever pass from Armstrong, because his touch didn't allow him to get the shot off without the block being made.
Forest to run a free kick on the far side. Well, it's bringing us the bank holiday drama we hoped for. Already today, 8 goals between Fulham and Leicester. Fulham beating Leicester 5-3. Brighton 1, Everton 5. Are the other 2 Premier League games today. And now this one, well, it's living up to expectations. Forest 2, Southampton 1. Game night on Talksport. Free kick for Forest this time. 30 yards out on the far side. About 2 or 3 yards in from the touchline, about probably 35 yards out from goal. Gibbs White will deliver. It'll be headed forward by Felipe. McCarthy will come and punch, and he punches well because it's back almost as far as halfway as it's lifted back in. Iwonyi on his chest. Iwonyi trying to come through here now. Brennan Johnson, Iwonyi with a chance inside the 6-yard box, and it's just run out of play. And he had the final touch, and that will be a goal kick. But Iwonyi almost nailed a 26-minute hat-trick there.
Yeah, well again it's Danilo in there causing problems. A clever little pass. It drops to him on the edge of the box. Just there, gets it back in there, keeps it alive. Nearly Brennan Johnson, then Iwonyi. just scrambled it away, didn't they, in time?
I think Maitland-Niles just did enough then, didn't he? His sheer presence, just enough to put Iwanye off as he goes searching that hat-trick. And it's Maitland-Niles who will play the ball back to McCarthy, away to our right-hand side. Well, no surprise that we're seeing goals really in respect of both of these teams are incapable of keeping clean sheets.
Well, it's fascinating watching the Southampton technical area. The manager's got ants in his pants, it's non-stop, too much really. And they've got 3 other members of staff who keep swapping and taking in turns to run out every time there's a set play, every time there's something going on. It's chaos, absolute chaos.
Bella-Kotchap just short of halfway as Southampton go searching again for a equalising goal. They trail 2-1. It's a really nice ball out wide to that left-hand side by Gibbs-White. Iwanye's had to pull onto the far touchline, but clever feet from him, he's done brilliantly. Lodi's there as well, stabbed through inside the penalty area. Lodi cuts it back to Yates. Great save by McCarthy, offside flag is up anyway. Good build-up play from Forest.
Yeah, I think it was Lodi. It's a good move though, nice and intricate. You kind of knew when it fell to Yates there wasn't going to be a finish. There was no conviction in it on his weak foot. Not a goal scoring midfielder, didn't look comfortable. But it was a clever little move. Well, oh, he's onside. He's actually onside.
He certainly was.
I would have counted if he'd managed to finish. A poor finish from Yates. But he's onside by a yard, maybe 2.
It's a poor call by the assistant on this near side.
Well, he shouldn't be calling it when it's that tight.
Doesn't have to, does it?
No.
McCarthy blocks it with his right knee. And we've had 29 minutes of breathtaking action. Southampton have actually had 6 shots in this game now. Dominating possession right now. Forest, funnily enough, 38% possession, which is in line with their average throughout the season. It is the lowest in the Premier League. So it's taken down nicely by Walcott. It's a terrific touch inside the penalty area. Gives it to Ward-Prowse. Right-footed, dinks it towards the back post. Maybe a bit of shock because Navas has had to come and palm it away. It's down to Armstrong, edge of the penalty area on this left-hand side. Left-footed ball in from Maitland-Niles and trying to come for it that time. On the far side was Walker-Peters who was looking for the header. Ward-Prowse tries to chase that one down, and it's a good sliding challenge in the end on that far side from Lodi, who gets the ball away, but Southampton have it back.
A very open game, they're getting in some good positions. Ward-Prowse for once didn't pick the right ball and he mishit it because Armstrong was free at the back post, but they're getting some joy with Walcott. Ward-Prowse down the right hand side.
Is it a bit more open than you expected?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I also think as well, when you go 2-0, you know, you can become more pragmatic, but they haven't, Forest. They've just carried on the front foot, which is leaving open spaces. I'm going to go out on a win.
Oh, here we go.
The goal scoring ain't over.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
When you look at these two defences, it's probably no great surprise. They both came into this game. It was minus 32, the goal differences, the pair of them. That's the kind of form that does tend to get you relegated most seasons. Only there are a few more pretty horrendous teams around them, as we saw earlier today in that capitulation by Leicester in the 3 o'clock kick-off this afternoon. We've had 30 minutes on Talksport. It's game night, it's Forest 2, Southampton 1. And if you've only just joined us, you've missed a lot of fun in the first half an hour. It's Southampton with possession on the far side. They started like a steam train and then found themselves 2 down. But back in it, courtesy of Alcaraz. Here's Armstrong, giving it short to Bella-Kotchap, just short of halfway on this left-hand side. I'm not too sure who was expecting to make the run down there. Nobody moved and no one was in about 20 yards vicinity, and it's out for what will be a throw-in on this near side. You're listening to Nottingham Forest against Southampton on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. There is a problem. One of the Southampton players is down.
The manager needs to calm down. He does not. He makes me anxious. Never mind his players. I've seen some managers who are up and down on the touchline, but he's kicking every ball. He's trying to tell every player where to be with every action they take. It would drive me insane being close to him on that pitch.
Well, Alcaraz is up and about. Throw from Aurier on this near side. Here's Ward-Prowse, just helps him on its way towards Adams, who lays it off to Alcaraz. First touch wasn't the best, it allowed Mangala a chance to pick up the loose ball, and then Gibbs White does well to find Danilo, and then Yates will try and lift the ball over the top for a space that, or into a space that Gibbs White he thought would be running into, but on this occasion he wasn't. I mean, you played for Roy, didn't you? He was never like that, was he? He left all that to Ray Lewington.
Do you know what? I was very lucky. I played under Dario Gradi, Gerard Houllier, Roy Hodgson, very calm managers, and I think it always benefited the team. You know, that high emotion can transfer to the pitch. Not always, of course. You know, you've got to be yourself, of course, but it's a bit too much. I mean, it's every pass and I know there's a lot on the game, but if you're playing near your manager or coach and he's continually on you.
Here's Gibbs White, brilliant run through. He's got Johnson ahead of him. Gibbs White finds Yates. Yates inside the penalty area on his right foot, tries the shot. Maitland-Niles with a block, and it's gathered by McCarthy away to our right-hand side.
Good move again.
It was. You're quite a calm individual yourself, though, aren't you? So you probably appreciated that.
Actually, you'd be surprised. I was quite calm on the football pitch. I had moments of madness, but not many.
As Danny Murphy, the former England, Liverpool, Fulham midfielder, who's alongside me, Adam Bridge, here at the City Ground. Of course, Sam will be here at half-time to round up what's gone on in this first half, and also for the day it's been so far across the Talksport network. We've had it all today. Final day of League Two, of course, the final day of the Championship, and now Premier League action to round off the day, as that ball's clipped over the top by Armstrong on this near touchline. Adams was chasing down inside the penalty area, but Felipe got there first, and then Aurier combines nicely with Mangala, and Aurier's doing well so far tonight for Nottingham Forest. He gives it to Musa Niakate, and he'll put it wide on that left-hand side to Renan Lodi, who's got forward over halfway, but back inside their own half they go again, and Steve Cooper and Alan Tate in the technical area will just allow that Forest side to build again from the back down this right, this time with Aurier. Towards Johnson, he's under-hit the pass. Armstrong goes in, and Yates with a challenge. I think there's a couple of fouls there that Michael Oliver's happy to call, and it will be a free kick for Southampton. 11 minutes remaining in this first half. Across the Talksport network in May, we have the conclusion to the Premier League, the Champions League semi-finals, the Conference League semis, every game in the playoffs, the Women's FA Cup, and of course the conclusion of the Women's Super League as well. In the middle of 15 nights of back-to-back football right now. And this one's been quite special so far, with Forest leading Southampton by 2 goals to 1. Another cry of "Come on you Reds" rings around the City Ground, and it's lifted forward that time by Lavia, and Ward-Prowse fighting hard on that far side to win possession. Lodi gets there first, but has just given the ball away. The cross comes over towards Alcaraz, and the diving header is from Felipe. And once more out wide on that far touchline, Ward-Prowse has possession again. Gives it back in field to Romeo Lavia. Lavia then just sends it to Armstrong. Armstrong slips it in towards Maitland-Niles, who had made a run, but it was well read, and now the break is on. Aurier down the right-hand side. Brennan Johnson, has he got the pace? Yes, he has got the pace to get away. Johnson in the box. Awoniyi was waiting for it, but the delivery is blocked out by Bednarek at the near post with a great sliding tackle, and that's going to be a corner for Forest.
Great counter from Forest. Brennan Johnson using his pace. Belakovic got a problem trying to catch him. It was maybe tweaked his hamstring or caught himself in the ground, but it was a great break from Brennan Johnson. Then he gets in, and he's got Awoniyi there waiting for the tap in for the hat-trick, and Bednarek reads it. That was a massive moment in this game.
Yeah, Belakovic absolutely no chance. I'm looking at the angle of that pass as it was going in. I've got a feeling the keeper may have cut that out as well.
Well, I think it was one of those where actually you dummy it, and because it's the last man, you can afford to take an extra touch and come back yourself.
Well, I'm wondering about Belakovic here. He's down inside the penalty area. I think anyone who tries to take after Brennan Johnson is potentially on a hiding to nothing.
Yeah, he's quick.
That's for sure. A reminder, tomorrow morning, don't forget, Laura Woods is back with breakfast. Ali McCoist and Andy Townsend will be there, reviewing another belter of a day in the Premier League. And of course, looking ahead to that Champions League semi-final tomorrow night, just to round out what happened earlier today, Northampton won automatic promotion to League One. Salford sneaked into the playoffs. Another goal for Mansfield I think they scored in the 97th minute, would have seen Salford knocked out, but it's Salford
getting goal difference.
There was goal difference. And in the Championship, Millwall 3-1 up at half-time over Blackburn, lost 4-3. Both Millwall and Blackburn miss out, and Coventry and Sunderland join Luton and Middlesbrough in the playoffs, all of which you will hear live and exclusive to national radio on Talksport, of course, across the network. Lianco is the substitute that's going to come on to replace Bella Kochap. His race has run. I don't think he's going to be the first defender who's ended up going off after trying to chase after Brennan Johnson this season.
Yeah, I don't know he's struggling, isn't he? I don't know whether he caught his foot in the ground as he tried to correct his run, or whether it's his hamstring, but he looks in a lot of trouble.
Corner to Forest, away to our right-hand side in front of that Bridgeford Road stand. It swung under the crossbar and it actually was headed away by the substitute Lianco, his first touch, because it looked like it was swinging in as it was delivered that time by Renan Lodi.
See, Southampton again on the set plays, they have a guy coming out to the corner of the technical area. He's not doing anything other than watching, but walking past the coach and his assistant coach with his little clipboard in the corner of the technical area, doing nothing. It might be a set piece, but what is he doing from the corner? I don't understand what he thinks he can tell them from there. Why is it not already done?
I don't know, he's coming out again now, this time with his iPad. Here's the throw from the far side, launched inside the penalty area. Felipe's there, appeals for handball, but Felipe's been penalised for a foul on Jay Adams, and it will be a free kick for Southampton away to our right-hand side. Should we find out at half-time?
I don't need to find out. I know it's just ticking a box. It's absolutely nonsensical. 6.5 minutes remaining
in this first half. The race to survive in the Premier League, just to tell you, this time next Monday, Danny will be with you again alongside Sam and Adrian for a huge game. Leicester against Liverpool from the King Power is our game night next Monday night, and who knows where things will stand by then, of course. Earlier on today, Everton's 5-1 win at Brighton, catching everyone by surprise, lifting them up to 16th, where they've now been replaced by Forest if things stay as they are here. Yates with a foul. Alcaraz looks to take it quickly, and he did take it quickly and made a mess of it, with the referee not happy, and he's going to pull it back and allow it to be taken again. Steve Cooper, Alan Tate, not happy, no.
Understandable.
Michael Oliver usually has a greased back hairdo, but in that rain it's still absolutely chucking it down at the City Ground. So Lianco has just slipped in alongside Bednarek at centre half for Southampton following the departure of Bella Kochap, and it's short to Armstrong on this near side. Lianco played us right back in that game against Newcastle last weekend. He's picked out a pass here to Maitland-Niles, who's done well to keep it in down this left-hand touchline. He slips into Armstrong. Armstrong's left-footed ball towards the back post. It's evaded everyone. It was hanging in that 6-yard area for a moment. Walker-Peters picks up the scraps, gives it to Ward-Prowse, who then finds Lavia 25 yards out. Lavia drives one, blocked by Mangala inside the penalty area, and now a chance to break as Gibbs White tries to set Iwanyi away from deep inside his own half with the outside of his right foot. Gives it away. Walker-Peters going towards Walcott. Walcott inside the box, stabs it across the face of goal, and that's literally inches wide of Navas's right-hand post, and Theo Walcott, out of nothing, almost conjured up an equaliser.
Well, I'm not sure whether he's trying to shoot or trying to pass, but it sneaks past the far post. It's good play from Walker-Peters down that right-hand side, linking up with Walcott, gets inside the box. It's a tricky angle, but I don't know whether he's actually trying to pick out Adams in the middle or whether he's trying a cheeky little flick to the back post. I think it's a cross, probably.
Looked like he played it with the outside of his right boot.
It
was the curl, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was
clever.
Not far away from making it 2-2. 4 minutes remaining on Talksport in this first half. It's Forest 2, Southampton 1. It's game night, and it's Forest with a throw midway inside the Southampton half on this right-hand side. And Johnson will just leave it for Aurier, who will step forward Movement inside the penalty areas from Gibbs-White. No one picked him up. Flicked on towards Johnson, but Maitland-Niles has done well there. And there's a penalty, and it's been given. Brennan Johnson went down under the challenge from Maitland-Niles. One look at the assistant from Michael Oliver, and he's pointed to the penalty spot. Maitland-Niles can't believe it, and Nottingham Forest have got themselves a spot kick. Michael Oliver answering the protest.
Looks harsh to me.
Well, we're going to replay now, Danny.
Yeah. It's good defending originally from Maitland-Niles.
Yeah, Maitland-Niles has tried to swing at the ball, and Johnson's got his leg in the way, and he's caught it.
No idea he's there though, is he?
No.
He's just planted his foot. I don't think that's a penalty. I understand why it's given. I understand that he's seen the contact and he's gone over, but I don't think that's a penalty.
Well, VAR will of course be having a look. Michael Oliver deep in conversation with
they'll give it. They'll give it because they've seen the contact. He's put his foot ahead of the clearance from Maitland-Niles, so he has caught him, and you could argue he should be able to see him and know he's there.
Well, Michael Oliver explaining to James Ward-Prowse exactly what happened there, but they have missed 3 penalties so far this season in the Premier League. Johnson's missed a couple. Andre Ayew has missed one as well. He's on the bench, and it looks like Yates is going to take responsibility.
No, won't be Yates.
You don't think? As the captain, he's got...
No, he's not. He doesn't look the most comfortable finisher.
No, Gibbs-White, who scored the last penalty, will now try and add to his tally. He scored the goal against Brighton here after Brennan Johnson had missed a spot kick in that game. They were just protecting the penalty spot. I can't believe you have to do that nowadays.
Well, you don't have to. It's just over. It's just world's going mad. I think I understand why he's given a penalty, but I do think it's really harsh. Massive opportunity now for Gibbs-White.
90 seconds left in the first half. Morgan Gibbs-White could potentially make it 3-1 here to Forest. It's Gibbs-White against McCarthy. McCarthy goes left. Gibbs-White goes down the middle, and Nottingham Forest restore that 2-goal advantage at the City Ground. And again, is it another nail in Southampton's coffin en route to the Championship? And is it potentially a foot up to Forest's hopes of survival? As we head to half-time, it's Forest 3, Southampton 1.
Decent penalty down. Well, I don't like penalties down the middle, but it goes in, so you can't argue.
Don't you find them most effective?
Well, I remember a few years ago when I was taking penalties doing stats, and that was not one that was the highest in terms of conversion down the middle, because keepers can leave the leg trailing as they dive, or it's become a bit more of a trend recently, but I think that's really unlucky, that penalty. The more I watch it, he's putting his leg there waiting to be kicked.
Yeah, Maitland-Niles, he's got to the ball. Let's explain to the listener. Maitland-Niles has got to the ball first. He's turned. Johnson's gone beyond him, and as Maitland-Niles has pulled his leg back,
yeah, he's come on the blind side.
Johnson on his blind side has just stuck his leg in between, and he's kicked it.
Yeah, we've seen it many times before.
It's clever from Johnson.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
3 added minutes at the end of the first half here on Talksport. 3-1 Forest lead on game night. And it's a throw on that far side right by the corner flag for Nottingham Forest. And surely now Steve Cooper, I think Andy Reid's come out in the technical area and just saying, right, let's just get in at 3-1, shall we? No silliness between now and half time. Southampton have it on halfway.
We'll need a team sheet soon for the amount of people they have in the technical area, never mind the ones on the pitch.
Here's Maitland-Niles inside the centre circle, finds Bednarek. Bednarek across to the substitute Lianco. Here's Armstrong on this left-hand touchline, a couple of yards inside the Forest half. He finds Lavia. Lavia then swings it forward towards Walcott, but it's cleared away by Lodi. Lianco then with a free chest down inside the centre circle. Looks to try and find Ward-Prowse on that far side, but Ward-Prowse is beaten to it again by Lodi, and it's flicked up that far touchline. But Southampton gather possession again. We've had a minute of the 3 that have been added in this first half. and it's with Lianco right now. It's currently Nottingham Forest 3, Southampton 1, and the latest odds head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Nottingham Forest 10-1 on to win, Southampton at 28-1, and the draw is 9-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18+, begambleaware.org. 90 seconds of stoppage time at the end of the first half remaining. Here's Armstrong midway inside the Forest half on this left-hand touchline. Infield he goes again, where he finds Maitland-Niles, and Ward-Prowse will shift it to the right-hand side where Lavie is there. Gets it back inside the centre circle. Ward-Prowse out to Maitland-Niles, and again Lianco. And Southampton are the ones who seem happy just to keep the ball at half-time here. Forest aren't going to complain about this. They're going nowhere.
Yeah, there's not much space. Forest sitting in, protecting the lead till half-time. Right thing to do.
Here's Adams on this near side. Across goes Brennan Johnson and wins himself another free kick. And that will be a chance for Forest to clear their lines. He did just get there first, Jay Adams.
So quick, isn't he? So quick, such a threat for them.
But that's what do you do when it's that much pace? They always say pace is so crucial in teams, isn't it? With him, it's electric, isn't it? And he will force you to make mistakes.
He will, but he's also got quality, hasn't he, when he gets in those dangerous areas. You know, his end product's been fantastic this season for a player playing his first season in the Premier League. He's really grasped the opportunity and taken to it so well.
Long ball punted forward. Michael Oliver sees a foul there on Lianco, and that will probably be the last action of this pulsating opening 45 minutes here at the City Ground. Lianco with a free kick, which he'll take for Saints at the edge of their own penalty area, and everyone around us in the main stand here at the City Ground rises to their feet, and it's no great surprise. An early double from Iwonyi, his 5th and 6th goals of this Premier League campaign, put Forest 2 up early on. Alcaraz then scored to bring it back to 2-1, and then a penalty from Morgan Gibbs-White on the stroke of half-time means that Forest have the upper hand in the basement battle. Half-time at the City Ground, Nottingham Forest 3, Southampton 1. Yeah, a goal-scoring bonkers bank holiday, there's no two ways about that. And the teams are back out, and there are no further changes for either. Of course, there was one change in the first half for Southampton. I'll run you through the starting 11s in the second half when we get a moment. But Michael Oliver is about to get us back underway with Forest kicking towards the Trent end away to our left-hand side in this second 45 minutes. And I think the delay is because some laces are being done up, and it's Joliet whose laces were undone. You'd have thought maybe he'd have done those before he left the dressing room.
But thing, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that would be sensible, but we're off and running at last. The delay is over, and it's Ward-Prowse who immediately is fighting feverishly in that midfield for Southampton. I'm fairly sure that words would have been exchanged at half-time in that Southampton dressing room about some of the defending at times, but they have to come up with a plan in this second half to get themselves back in this game, don't they?
Playing for pride, really. Pride, some of them might be in the shop window. You just got to keep doing the right things, keep trying to make chances, keep trying to do the things you know that get you to this level. The rest will look after itself for you, but in terms of the Premier League stayers, I think they're done.
Now, when it comes to the maths, if things stay as they are, they'll be 8 behind the safety zone, which will currently be Everton 4th from bottom on 32 with 3 games to play. So mathematically still possible, but in fact it's not going to happen when you consider they've got Fulham, Brighton and Liverpool to come before the end of the season. Although maybe Brighton might be an easier pushover than we all thought.
I think it's amazing, isn't it, that some of the games you see on paper and you think, you're predicting them now, and then at this stage of the season different factors kick in, whether it's pressure, whether it's complacency, all those things.
Well, since March 2016 they've been behind by 2 or plus goals at half-time 32 times, and on each occasion, all 32, it's ended in defeat for Southampton. Coming forward here with Bednarek, who was doing his best in that first half to drive his team forward from his centre-half position, gives it short to Walcott, who finds Walker-Peters, and there's a foul, and it's the challenge from Mangala that's been punished and penalised, and it will be a free kick here for Southampton midway inside the Forest half. An early goal, and we may just get a little jittery here in the City Ground.
Yep.
Ward-Prowse to deliver from the set piece. Not an effort he can have on goal, because he's obviously searching for 18 to equal David Beckham, but he's swung that one into the danger zone, and Che Adams got up, got there first, but just didn't get enough on the ball and knocked it behind for a goal kick.
It's a brilliant ball from Ward-Prowse. Adams has got to do better. He's unmarked. It's from this right hand side. It's an outswinger, perfectly placed onto his head. Tries to glance it in the far corner. He's better getting more on it.
He really has to do better. Che Adams signed from Birmingham City for £15 million. As I mentioned, he's had a calf injury, I think. Missed 4 games for those. He's actually got 3 goals in 7 appearances against Forest, so he tends to like playing against them. But his record in the Premier League in recent times not the best. Aurier got some defending to do here, midway inside his own half, and he does it well. And I think Gibbs White's been caught there in the head. The referee has allowed play to continue, but they're going to put the ball out of play. Not sure if it was a head injury or not.
It was completely accidental though. He ducked right into Maitland-Niles, who was clearing the ball, I think, as he ducked his head, but it was certainly not intentional.
It's Brennan Johnson that's down.
Yeah.
The referee happy to play on. And Forest have the ball with Navas, who's in goal. Aurier, Felipe, Niakate and Lodi across the back. Mangala, Yates and Danilo in midfield, with Johnson, Awonyi with his 2 goals, and Gibbs White with that penalty, scoring for Nottingham Forest, who lead here 3 goals to 1 on game night on Talksport. The Saints team has got McCarthy in goal. It's Walker-Peters, Bednarek, it's Lianco, who came on as a first half substitute for Bella Kochap, and Maitland-Niles across the back. Ward-Prowse and Lavia in midfield. Armstrong, Alcaraz and Walcott alongside Che Adams in terms of putting the pressure on this Nottingham Forest back line. Alcaraz with the Saints goal in the opening 45 minutes. Here's Bednarek again. He's up to halfway on this right hand side, just down in front of us, a couple of yards in from the touchline, and Walker-Peters is challenged successfully by Renan Lodi, who slides in, and now Walcott's away down this near touchline. I still find it hard to believe he's only 34 years of age, but Walcott just losing out there to a clever bit of defending that time from Niakate, and it's once more inside the centre circle, picked up by Lianco, shifted out wide to that left hand side where Maitland-Niles picks it up, looks to play it through towards Alcaraz and Adams, who are in close proximity to each other at the edge of the penalty area. They did give it away briefly, but they have it back, and Armstrong charging forward, and the ball goes out of play for a corner on that far side.
He struggles at times, Yates. He struggles knowing, seeing the pictures, what's around him. He's very combative and tenacious. Does his work well defensively, but when he's on the ball, doesn't see the pictures very quickly. A couple of times he's lost possession and put his team under pressure.
Here's Ward-Prowse to deliver the corner from that far side. Swung in, a header down and in! Lianco with a goal! Wonderful delivery as ever from James Ward-Prowse, and Lianco, the first half substitute, dives in with a header and puts it in the bottom corner, and we are game on again at the City Ground. It's Forest 3, Southampton 2, and maybe there's life in the old dog yet.
Great ball in from Ward-Prowse, whipped in swinger from that left hand side. I mean, I personally think, although it's a good header, I think the keeper's got to be coming and taking it. He heads the ball 3 yards, 4 yards from the goal. I think a goalkeeper of any confidence and any presence is coming and catching that or punching it comfortably. You can't be scoring from 4 yards out with a header from an in-swinging corner. It's a great ball, don't get me wrong. It's got pace on it, but he has headed that in 4 yards from the goal.
First goal for Southampton for the Brazilian. 10th substitute appearance of the season from Torino. Only came back into the starting 11 against Newcastle last weekend, and the sub today, he's given Southampton a lifeline in this game.
You know what was even better is the guy that keeps coming out with his iPad. It must be the set piece coach. He celebrated like he'd planned it, and like Ward-Prowse, it's nothing to do with Ward-Prowse being able to whip a ball in, which he does every week brilliantly into the middle of the 6 yard box.
I think Lianco has bust his finger in the process. There's certainly blood coming from it. And they're telling him to go down for his finger, or just to come over and get it taped up, which they don't want to happen, because Ward-Prowse is saying, I've got another free kick here in a dangerous position midway inside the Forest half, so can we just wait? But I think Lianco has said, yes, we will wait. as he makes his way inside the penalty area. Danger again. Same position as that earlier free kick that Adams got on the end of but couldn't direct goalwards. Swings that one in again. Lienko at the back post. He's almost there. Keeps it alive. Got a touch from Navas and it'll be taken away by Niakate on that far side. Almost 3-3 and almost a carbon copy from Southampton.
I think Bednarek's the one that misses it in the middle. It's 6 yards out header to make it 3-3. Misses it.
Here's Maitland-Niles, 25 yards out from goal, lifts that one in and it floats through beyond everyone, beyond Walcott, beyond Adams, and out of play for a goal kick away to our right hand side, and they are turning up the heat here, Southampton.
It's all from that man, isn't it? The quality of his set plays, right on the money.
Well, no surprise that Forest concede from a set piece again. I mean, Bednarek, I don't even needs to head it, does he? He almost could catch it with his foot, and no, it is a header for him. And
no, he just misses the flight of it.
Lienko did well to keep that alive. Every single time Ward-Prowse causing problems. Now we've got 2 Forest players.
See, what he does, Ward-Prowse, really well is he hits great areas. So when you know the area where you want is going to be hit so regularly in terms of his consistency with it, you can make really positive runs. The 3 or 4 big guys, they make positive runs into the dangerous area, knowing it's going to be put there.
So Felipe is one of the Forest players who's down. He's up and about. There was a long inquest going on there. Serge Aurier was the player that was leading it, with Mangala and a few others in terms of sorting out that defensive shade on it. I think Yates is the other player that's down. They're up and about now. Just checking he's okay. He will leave the field of play, as will Felipe. So they'll be down to 9 men for a minute or two. I mean, Navas has got good hands on that as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. You can't really blame him from a point-blank header, but I think, you know, he's got to be, if you start a yard off your line and in-swinger's coming in, if he's got any presence, any courage, you come and you catch or you punch. Stuck on your line with an in-swinger, no. Best keepers, you don't see that.
Well, Southampton are down to 10 and Forest are down to 9 because Michael Oliver is refusing to allow all 3 of them to come back on yet. And Navas has hit the worst goal kick straight into touch on this near side. Walcott's left it for Walker Peters, which
has got his trampoline out again.
On this near side, tries to get that forward, but it's picked up by Lodi, and then Mangala is dispossessed by Ward-Prowse, but works hard to win it back. Yates in the centre circle, forward down that right hand side to Thompson, feels for a handball. It is a handball, and it will be a free kick. And Ryan Yates is saying, why is that not a booking as well, I think?
Well, it's not a booking because he's half a metre away from it.
Maitland-Niles is penalised. Yates has got his hands in the air with fury at Michael Oliver.
I mean, what's he supposed to do? He's flicked it round him a yard away. Okay, he's given it. It's a free kick, fine. Doesn't have to be a yellow. He's less than a yard away.
10 minutes gone in the second half. Come on, you Reds. Rings around the City ground. 3-2 to Forest. Gibbs White swings that one towards the back post. Felipe was coming in. Defended though by Che Adams, who says he was pushed in the process. Out of play on this near side. What will be a throw into Forest, and the man with the iPad is now moaning at the assistant on this near side that it was a foul.
It's doing my head in. We've got to stop talking about it. I'll have to go down there and just tie him up in the dugout to stop him coming out.
Did I say you were a calm man earlier? I did say you were a calm man earlier, didn't I? Here's the throw. A long one as well coming in from Niakate. Oh, it bounces inside the box, but there's a foul, and it's going to be a free kick for Southampton. We've had 11 minutes of this second half. Game night on Talksport. It's Forest 3, Southampton 2. It's a real thriller, and you're listening to Forest Southampton on Talksport with Now Sports. Don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Forest against Southampton live right now for $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. Here comes Southampton midway inside the Forest half. Good important interception that time by Danilo. Still goes out wide left to Maitland-Niles though, and he lifts the ball inside the penalty area but behind for a goal kick away to our right hand. So
yeah, not his best cross. That's the disadvantage of playing on your weaker side. His right foot playing left back. But again, good positive play from Southampton. Forest need to just calm themselves down, try and get Danilo on the ball, try and get them passing it. dictating tempo a little bit.
He's still only 25, Maitland-Niles. What's gone wrong, Danny?
Well, I think when he decided to leave Arsenal, he didn't really find his home, did he? He didn't find a particular club or position where he was always used and always comfortable. And it's hard sometimes when you leave the club that you've been so long at. But you know, he won an FA Cup under Arteta, playing brilliantly for that latter part of the season. He's had lots of good moments in his career, so I wouldn't say it's all gone wrong. And now he's got a chance to rebuild himself.
Hasn't scored a Premier League goal since 2018 against Liverpool. That shows the quality he was at before. Here's Walcott at the edge of the penalty area. Walker-Peters outside of him. 2 or 3 blue shirts in the penalty area, but given away. Gibbs-White is there. Felipe will just stick it out, and it's going to go into touch. Is it? No, Gibbs-White works hard, does brilliantly to keep it in. There were a lot of people that used to say about Gibbs-White when he was at Wolves, he just doesn't work hard enough. He works hard enough for Steve Cooper. He did at Swansea, and he does now.
Sometimes when you're young, people think you don't work hard enough. It's just because you're not fit enough, and you need time to adapt to the tempo of the play that you've just been thrust into. I mean, I saw him at Wolves a few times. He was brilliant, technically brilliant. He could see a pass, he could beat somebody. The physicality was always going to take a little while to catch up.
Approaching the hour mark, game night on Talksport. It's Forest 3, Southampton 2. If it stays like this, Forest will move up to 16th in the Premier League table. But there's a long way to go, and I'm fairly sure there's a few more twists and turns to come in the next 32 minutes or so. Here's Lavia for Southampton, midway inside the Forest half. Shifted out wide to the right-hand side. Well, it was a good move. Alcaraz helped it on towards Ward-Prowse, but then he just helped it on behind Walker-Peters.
They're just dropping off, Forest. Dropping off too deep, protecting what they've got. It's inevitable at times. You can't help it. You don't mean to, but you just protect what you've got. It needs some leaders out there, someone dictating to the others that they can release them to go and press. Go higher, play the ball up and then follow it. Go and press the ball.
Well,
forget what's behind you.
They've dropped 23 points from winning positions this season.
Yeah.
15 of them here. So it may be a fortress. They may have done very well here in terms of not having only lost twice since October, but they've also been pegged back at times, and obviously fresh in the minds would be the fact that they were in front in the closing stages against Brentford last weekend. As that one slipped through towards Adams down that left-hand side, he just gets there enough of the time ahead of Felipe, but that excellent recovery from Felipe, who then chips the ball down that right-hand touchline for Johnson to chase, but there's too much on it, and it's out of play for a throw to Southampton. End-to-end, breathtaking game of football as we reach the hour mark at the City Ground. 3-2, Forest lead Southampton. Tomorrow night, don't forget, Champions League semi-final first leg. Hey, if it's half as good as this, we'll have a bit of that tomorrow night.
It'll be half as good, don't worry.
Real Madrid against Man City. From the Bernabeu, Jim Proudfoot is already on his plane, I think. Stuart Pearce and Adrian will be joining him tomorrow, that's for sure. Alcaraz has got a good run on here down the left-hand side towards the edge of the penalty area, tries to come inside again. Felipe, excellent, then he goes down and wins the free kick for Nottingham Forest, and he gets a round of applause from the main stand, and then on the far side, the Brian Clough stand, he just encourages them to give him a bit more.
He did well. I like the dive, good defended, and a little dive to get the free kick. Lovely job, Lee, standing ovation. Perfect.
Kamaldeen Sulemana is coming on to replace Theo Walcott for Southampton at the hour mark. I thought Theo's looked quite impressive. I'm quite surprised about that.
He's done okay, yeah. But I think, Sulemana's another talented winger. Fresh legs, something different.
He's scored 1 goal in 48 club appearances since 2019 or 2021. He's not much of a threat. He wasn't against Newcastle, but we'll see. Sellés does like to shuffle things round for Southampton as Adams goes tumbling on the halfway line. His opposite number, Gibbs-White, picks up possession calmly on that far side. Yates combines with Aurier again towards the edge of the penalty area. Gibbs-White into Brennan Johnson. Lovely touch to Gibbs-White, who drills him across the 6-yard box, and it needs an intervention from McCarthy to deny what would have been a brilliant goal from Forest. Here they come though with Felipe. Aurier again, wide on that right-hand side. One more touch to Brennan Johnson, but too much on it. It's out of play for a goal kick. What about that move from Forest, Alan?
Great link-up, wasn't it, between Johnson and Gibbs-White. Both brave footballers, both intelligent, on the same page. Little touch from Morgan Gibbs-White there was beautiful. He could have given it back to Brennan Johnson, actually.
Good. Iwonyi was waiting.
He was.
For that post for that hat-trick. Again, the noise has gone up a couple of decibels here now. Aurier is flat on his backside on the far side as that slipped through inside the penalty area. It's red, Felipe's there, and they need to get it out of play, which they do. Yates pops it off on that far side, and Aurier's still down. He's going to need some treatment. I think we're going to see Joe Worrell appear for Forest, so you wonder if there may be a change of shape coming with a third centre-back entering the fray. We shall see. Elsewhere later this week, as I mentioned, we're in the midst of 15 days of back-to-back live football. Wednesday night is the Milan derby in the Champions League semi-final. Danny Mills this time, not Murphy, alongside Sam Matterface for that one. On Thursday night, it's West Ham against AZ Alkmaar in the Europa Conference League semi-final first leg, with West Ham striker Dean Ashton with Jim Proudfoot. And then Friday night, Peterborough against Sheffield Wednesday. Our playoff coverage gets underway. Semi-final first leg from League One from London Road. And then don't forget, on Saturday we're back to Premier League action. 12:30, Leeds against Newcastle in the Premier League. Reshman in the chair with Stuart Pearce and Sam alongside. Right, Aurier looks like he's okay. No, he's gone. Aurier's going off on the far side, and it's Joe Worrell who's coming on to replace him. Worrell started against Newcastle in a back three. Against Credit in the back three. He takes the captain's armband, unsurprisingly, from Ryan Yates. And we'll see how the shape changes, if it changes at all, for Forest. I think maybe he's going to go and play right back.
Yeah, I think so.
Ball is back with McCarthy Navas away to our right-hand side. And we have 26 minutes remaining on Talksport. It's Forest 3, Southampton 2. They won't be mathematically down after this, Southampton, but they will be teetering on the edge. Here's Worrell, first touch for him on halfway. Slips it down that far side. Yates helps on its way to try and find the run that was being made by Johnson. Iwonyi's going to put the pressure on McCarthy as the ball reaches him at the edge of his 6-yard box, but he clears comfortably first time, and it's taken down by Yates nicely. Danilo on that far side will pick it up. He's got Iwonyi and Gibbs-White inside the penalty area, tries to play an early ball through, and it's intercepted by Lianco, and it will come out as far as Worrell. Now what's Worrell like on the delivery from that far touchline? Not a natural fullback, of course. Danilo gets it over, and it's away as far as the edge of the penalty area, and it's helped on its way this time by the substitute Sulemana. And now a chance maybe for Southampton down that left-hand side to drive themselves forward. Here's Trey Adams, and it's going to be a free kick for the foul on Sulemana.
He did well.
Southampton 10 yards inside the Forest half, he can clear the line.
He did well there, Sulemana, getting his team out. He kept the ball well.
More Prowse on this near touchline for Southampton, searching for that equaliser. 25 minutes to try and find it, although a point apiece doesn't really do much for either of them.
The midfield three of Forest have got to come out a bit more and stop protecting the back four. They've got to take a risk and step up 10 or 15 yards. The back four will follow them then.
Niles clips the ball forward towards Trey Adams, who has maybe sneaked into an offside position, but Forest won it anyway. Iwonyi, who really, apart from the goals, hasn't done too much in the game.
Well, they were two good goals, weren't they?
That's all you need from your strike.
It is.
6 for the season for Iwonyi with those 2 early strikes for Forest. Here's Walker Peters for Southampton, probing down this right-hand touchline. Forced back towards halfway. slipped inside where it's picked up by Ward-Prowse in the centre circle. Ward-Prowse will just play it out wide to that left-hand side for Armstrong, who brings it infield on that favoured right foot of his. He looks for some support, which again comes from Ward-Prowse. Alcaraz back to Ward-Prowse. So Armstrong, should I say, 25 yards out. Armstrong clips it to this near side for Walker-Peters. He's continued the run inside the penalty area. Walker-Peters wants it back, has it on this near touchline by the corner flag. Armstrong tries to deliver. Maybe he'll just try and win the corner, but instead he gets the throw right by the corner flag after good defending from near Katia.
Yeah, it was nice and patient build up there, trying to get the ball in on the right side, but defended well. Forest, patient with the defending, didn't dive in.
I think Cheku Kouyaté is preparing to come on for Forest. If anyone saw his body shape in trying to defend against Brentford in the 96th minute or what it was last weekend, I hope it's a better effort from him today. Here's the throw, and it's going to be delivered by Bednarek. He's gone for a long looping one to the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed away that time quite comfortably. It'll go back in though. Sulemana inside the box has done well at the byline and tries to get it over, and it's blocked out and behind for a corner on this right-hand side for Southampton. Good tackle again from near Katia. Taken quickly by Ward-Prowse, swings it towards the back post. Yanko with a header! Adams is it? No, it's punched away by Navas. And then it's slipped back in from Ward-Prowse. Navas again with a punch. Offside. And the offside flag is up. Wow. Che Adams must have been within about a yard or so of making that 3-3. But again, Navas manages to do enough.
Yeah, I mean, he's causing chaos with his balls. Got to do better, hasn't he, Adams? A good header at the back post, outswinger this time from the right hand side. I think it's
Lianco's been a real
Lianco got the header back post, yeah, and Che Adams is just there to touch it in with a volley. Miskicks it a little bit, doesn't quite connect. Half a chance.
Kouyaté is ready to come on, but Forest are on the attack. Iwonyi down this left-hand side by the corner flag, goes down by 2, but he skips between the two, still going, and then Lavia is there, but he catches him in his eagerness to win the ball back. Lavia goes down, and that's going to be a free kick for Southampton, level with the edge of their own penalty area. Ryan Giggs just back from injury, will depart. He'll be replaced by number 21, Cheku Kouyaté, the former Palace and West Ham midfielder. He really was poor defensively against Brentford last week, particularly for Brentford's winning goal. I wonder if there's more in his locker tonight. See the face he shakes him with it. We're into the last 21 minutes of this game. Forest leading on Talksport. It's game night. It's Forest 3. It's Southampton 2. And you said it in the first half, but I don't think the goals are done just yet.
I said that we've had 2 since I said that, thank you.
I think there might be some more.
Do you think?
Yeah.
No, I think you're wrong.
You think we're done?
I think we're done.
Long ball forward by Bednarek on that far side, nodded down. Here's Armstrong on that far touchline, looking to try and cut the ball across. Out of play for another corner. Left hand side this time is Southampton, so Ward-Prowse will be swinging this one in with his right foot right into the danger zone.
The iPad man's out again. Go on, son.
I think we need to get you an introduction.
What's he doing? I'll tell you what he's going to do, mate. Ward-Prowse is going to whip the life out of him right in the middle of the 6-yard box.
And he does swing it over towards the back post, and Navas again with a great punch. Wouldn't want to be that ball on the end of that punch from Navas, I tell you. He's got some distance on it, but only as far as Walker-Peters.
That's what he should have done for the goal. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Walker-Peters clips it in, and it's away again this time by Gibbs-White. Here's the throw. Walker-Peters again, 30 yards from goal on this right-hand side. It's all Southampton. There's the occasional counter-attack from Forest. Ward-Prowse, though, allowed time to drive through that midfield again. Here's Lavia. Here's Walker-Peters on the right-hand side. Goes to drive forward, where he finds Sulemana. Left-hand side. is where they've got some room if they choose to exploit it. But no, Bednarek goes again down the right and ends up floating it out of play for a goal kick.
Do you know what, joking aside, I know they've had changes of managers this season, Southampton. It's not all on Sellers and his team of coaches here, of course not, but there does seem to be it is a bit amateur hour down there. It is a little bit like a lot of guys who are new to this level of football and the roles they've got. You know, I'd be watching this if I was in charge of Southampton from behind the dugout thinking, no, this ain't what I want moving forward. This ain't a good look.
He's only 39 years of age, of course.
He's probably a good coach.
He's
not saying he's not. But what I'm saying is at this level, Premier League football, when you've got the tactics, you've got the coaching, you've got the way you conduct yourself, man-to-man the man-to-man managerial side, everything is chaotic down there. Him and the staff around him, there's no calmness or cohesion. It's madness.
One ball punted forward. One new tries to get there. Chekri Kiarte tries to slip the ball into Brennan Johnson, who made the run down this left-hand side. Couldn't quite find him. And the rain starts to tumble again as there comes Worrell on the far touchline. Kiarte loses his footing, but it still finds its way onto Brennan Johnson. Johnson cuts it back to Gibbs. He leaves it. Goal! 4-2 to Nottingham Forest. What a finish that was! Well delivered by Danilo again. And surely now Forest have wrapped up the points and are heading to 16th in the Premier League table. Third of the season for Danilo. And what a goal it was. Wonderful build-up play. And again, the City ground is on its feet and they lead here. It's Forest 4, Southampton 2.
What a goal. Best goal of the night. Down that right-hand side. Brennan Johnson again involved. Can he pick Gibbs White out? Yes, he can. Look at that for a touch. That's awareness. That's touch. That's a footballer with intelligence. That's a footballer who sees the pictures. And as he touches it into Danilo's path, he's never going to miss.
Scored 3 goals in his last 3 in the Premier League. Steve Cooper was on the charge down the touchline, and it's no surprise. Danilo with the goal. They love him here. The Brazilian flags are out and everything.
He's had a good game, but you've got to be thanking Morgan Gibbs right there. Honestly, I love that touch so much. If you're listening, you get to see this later when you get home or tomorrow morning. Wait and see Morgan Gibbs White's touch. It's just class, pure class.
The deal goes up to about £42 million for Wolves eventually, with all the add-ons potentially, but I think they paid a base 25 million, which for what he offers, it's an investment, isn't it?
It is.
Still only 23 years of age, Morgan Gibbs White as well.
This win could keep them up. You never know. We'll have to wait and see, but it could be that big. Well, they probably feel like they need one more, but
they've got Chelsea away, Arsenal here, and then Palace is the last game. 33 points, will it be enough? As Navas clears first time, and again it's Gibbs White with the touch. Maitland-Niles puts it out of play for a throw. Triple change coming for Southampton. And it's no surprise that we're going to see the big man. Adams is going off. He's going to be replaced by Onuachu. That's the first of the changes. We're also going to see the withdrawal of Alcaraz. He's gone. The introduction of Adam Armstrong. And then last up, Odozie is on the board as well. Final roll of the dice from Ruben Sellers. Listen to this noise inside the City ground. The scarves are being waved around above their heads. It's a special night. They lead 4 goals to 2. And that quest to survive in the Premier League, as I said at the start, they are not going to go quietly after waiting all this time to win that promotion. Danilo away again inside the box, and his attempted cross is blocked out by Bednarek, and that will be a corner. down this left-hand side for Forest. Quarter of an hour to go.
How can you not want Nottingham Forest to stay in the league, huh? Fans are unbelievable, aren't they? Stadium bouncing, everyone's buzzing.
This one's actually gone out for a throw. The pillar was in my way there, I can't deny. Well, that's helped on his way inside the box, and it's a chance for Gibbs White, who hits the shot around the penalty spot. It was another good throw from Niakate, and as it bobbled around inside the box, Gibbs White suddenly got sight of that area between the sticks, and it's just deflected behind for a corner. It's a great block. Lianco, the player who blocked it.
Really good block, yeah, important one.
He's taking his time to amble over his Morgan Gibbs White. 13 minutes remaining here. Game night on Talksport, where it remains Nottingham Forest 4, Southampton 2 right now. Gibbs White is about to deliver from that far side on his right foot. 6 red shirts circling that 6-yard box as it comes over and is heading up in the air by Felipe in the end. Now they're going to try and get it clear and up to the feet of Armstrong, and it's again going to be a free kick, and this time a yellow card, which goes the way of Renan Lodi.
You know what, they're 4-2 up, and on that attacking corner, Nottingham Forest, they left 2v2 at the back, and they were screaming from the side for someone to get back, but they couldn't hear because of the noise.
Going back to that point you were making earlier about Ruben Sellers, he's coached in a lot of places, but this is the first time he's been the number one. Like you say, maybe that isn't helping the situation as they come forward down that left-hand side towards the byline, and they've run themselves a corner. It's good work that time out on that far touchline by Edozie, and it's going to be another corner. Ward-Prowse has taken it short, picked up by Edozie on his left foot, then on his right, gets the byline on his left foot to the back post. The header comes in from Lianco, who's been dangerous throughout, and on this occasion he pops it over the crossbar and behind. It's currently Nottingham Forest 4, Southampton 2, and for the latest odds head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Nottingham Forest to win. It's 33 to 1 on. Southampton 125 to 1. The draw is 20 to 1, and that's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18 plus, begambleaware.org. 4-2 up, 12 minutes left, 33 to 1. I still think they might blow it.
Here come the reinforcements to make sure that doesn't happen, although I will let you have the one where you said you think there'll be another goal or two. I'll let you have that. I only said no because I didn't want to jinx it.
Surridge and Toffolo are the two players that are going to come on. Lodi is down, not having any treatment as yet. That's just been booked as well, of course. So we've got 11 minutes or so remaining here. A reminder, Champions League tomorrow night, Real Madrid against Manchester City on Talksport from the Bernabeu, that Champions League semi-final, and you get all the build-up to that, plus reflection tonight. Tomorrow morning, Laura Woods, along with Ali McCoist, and Andy Townsend is a guest tomorrow morning on Breakfast on Talksport, and I think we're also going to see the introduction of Willy Boly as well, who we've not seen since February, so it's going to be a triple change as well for Forest here. And the first player to come off is Iwonyi. 2 goals for Iwonyi will earn him a standing ovation. I think there's no doubt about that as he departs. He'll certainly take his time about it as well. We're also going to see Renan Lodi come off. He's been receiving some treatment away to our right-hand side. And he's going to be replaced, as I mentioned, Toffolo, Surridge, and also Willy Boly are the players that are coming on with 10 minutes remaining here at the City Ground. And Forest in this commanding 4-2 position. You are listening to Forest against Southampton on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. The triple change is almost complete. Taking his time coming off is Lodi, and Brennan Johnson's departed the scene as well. So wholesale changes for both as we enter the last 10 minutes here on game night. This breaking play will probably help Forest as well, won't it? just stop Southampton creating any kind of momentum. And it's going to be a goal kick away to our right-hand side for Keylor Navas. Forest leading by 4 goals to 2. It was 3-1, remember, at half-time. And they felt, courtesy of that goal from the Anko, that Southampton were back in it at 3-2, but excellent goal from Danilo, a team goal from Forest, to give them that 2-goal cushion once more. And surely the 3 points that lift them out the relegation zone and up into 16th in the Premier League, and leave Southampton teetering on the brink of a return to the Championship after 11 seasons in the Premier League. 2004, 2005, the last time they were relegated, and it took them a whole 7 years to return. Tough times on the South Coast back then. But with this young squad, you'll be hoping that maybe they're a little bit quicker at returning this time around. Hard work in the middle of the park being carried out for Ward-Prowse, who lifts it down this near touchline towards Walker-Peters, and the foot from Topolo puts it out of play, and it's going to be a corner again on this right-hand side to Southampton. They've looked so dangerous from set pieces.
Yeah, it's been their main source, hasn't it? Main source of chances, especially in the second half.
Ward-Prowse to deliver. Swings towards the back post, straight onto the head of Felipe, who gets a header out. Walker-Peters back in, the Anko's there, trying to win the header again. On the far side of Dozy, tries to get there just before the attention of Surridge.
It was actually Gibbs White, defensive header there, wasn't it?
Now Felipe in. And now an opportunity to come away, and it's slipped down this left-hand side to Danilo, as on the charge again. He's already scored one tonight towards the edge of the penalty area. Just slows up very cleverly, takes his time, and now they'll just try to kill this game in the last 8 minutes or so and be professional while they have this 2-goal advantage. This really was the night that they had to take that stride forward and get these crucial 3 points. They already picked up 80% of their points at home. Topolo down this near touchline. Danilo and Topolo combined. Danilo plays it in early, and Bednarek is there to block it out, and it'll be a throw on this near side for Forest.
Been good, Danilo, he's been good. Got talent, he wants the ball, got to get him on the ball more often, actually.
Going to be a throw again. It's going to be launched into the box by Moussa Niakate. So they're still committing bodies forward with that 4-2 advantage. Just gives short this time. And now as he falls backwards towards the edge of the penalty area, in fact he runs sideways and lifts the ball into the box and get it down again and find the former Huddersfield man Topolo on this left-hand side. Topolo into Kouyaté. Helped on his way to Mangala, and now it's teed up at the edge of the box. Gibbs White's there, dances past one, lays it out to side, he's lifted in to try and find the head of Kouyaté, who continued his run. Gibbs White again tried to go on the end of it, and it's Adam Armstrong that can clear from the edge of the penalty area. Willy Bolly on that far side does well. A little turn from Gibbs White, but he's dispossessed, and now forward comes a Dozy on that far side, and it's a free kick for Southampton just inside the Forest half. 5.5 minutes remaining. Game night on Talksport. It's Forest 4, Southampton 2. Sports bar coming up, of course, once we're done here tonight. Plus we'll bring you reaction from here at the City Ground. Down this right-hand side is Walker-Peters. Infield he goes. Ward-Prowse is there. Now they try and drive forward. It's Sulemana in a central position towards the edge of the penalty area. He's forced back to Maitland-Niles. Maitland-Niles now driving forward, but runs into a red wall and a challenge from Kouyaté. And then again, as Forest try to counter, it's interrupted and pushed down that left-hand side. It was Lavia who gets him out wide again to Edozie. He's got 2 in front of him, but he goes back towards the angle of the penalty area, and the shot's driven in, and Navas has to go down low and make the save. It was Sulemana with the effort, and then the rebound is put over the top of the crossbar for a goal kick to Forest.
There was a poor effort from Armstrong when it come back out to him after the shot. It's a save down to his right from Navas. And then here I think he completely missed it to Armstrong. He actually hit through an Atru.
It's a good shot on goal from Sulemana, wasn't it? It's his own player. You can't really miss him at 6'7", can you, to be fair? Navas with a long clearance. Shepherded by Lianco. 4 minutes plus time to be added on here. And Forest will be up and out of that relegation zone. To 16th in the table. Chelsea away, Arsenal to come here, and Crystal Palace to finish the season away from home are the fixtures remaining for Forest after tonight. The question is 33 points going to be enough following Everton's win earlier today?
I think it's going to go the last day, I really do.
I'm not sure my nerves can handle that as that ball slipped round for Walker-Peters. Here's Surridge, dispossessed by Lavia. And now kicked out wide by Kuarte, but deflected into the middle where Maitland-Niles picks it up. There's Ward-Prowse. I mean, there's no real pattern about Southampton here, is there? Literally everyone is charging everyone.
Yeah, well the game's become that way as it's gone on, but...
Here's Surridge. He's fouled. That's going to be a free kick. About 15 yards inside the Southampton half. And
has he already had a yellow, Maitland-Niles?
No. He didn't give him one for the handball. They wanted one, but he didn't get one. Free kick then for Forest. 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time. Steve Cooper still out in that technical area. He's absolutely drenched. His coat is wringing wet. Deep in conversation with Andy Reid. Alan Tate orchestrating as well. We're not going to let this slip as that's delivered into the penalty area towards the back post. Worrell's there, edging across the box. And away it comes from Lavia. Back on this near side towards Worrell. He gets the better of Walker-Peters, but illegally, according to Michael Oliver, and it's a free kick for Southampton.
Do you know what? So I used to say this to refs when I played. I sometimes think they gave decisions in the last few minutes of the game because they couldn't be bothered or they were too tired to sprint back on the counter. You know, because you just think, oh, give everyone a rest. Honestly, that was a classic one of them from Michael. He thought, you know what, forget that 60-yarder, we'll give a free kick.
90 seconds plus stoppage time. 4-2 Forest lead Southampton in this basement battle at the City Ground, and what a battle it's been. It's been ferocious. The tempo's been intense. It's been end to end. It hasn't stopped. The battle still continuing on this left-hand side with Toffolo, who's closed down by Walker-Peters, who's pressing on all the time now down this right-hand touchline. Here's Bolly, who lifts it forward into the centre circle. Gibbs White is caught from behind by Lianco, and he will take his time over this, and that's going to be another free kick for Nottingham Forest. And you can't really blame him, can you?
No, not at all.
And at that point, just down beneath us, there's a gentleman in his Union Jack waistcoat and his Union Jack coat and a Union Jack crown as well.
Yeah, I saw him earlier having the time of his life.
He's just revved the crowd up a little bit more, if that was even possible.
To be honest, I didn't see him till late because I've been so focused on the iPad man, who's out again now on the halfway line, throwing his arms in the air like a... Put me on a screen.
We're going to have 7 minutes of added time at the end of this game, and we'll be entering that in the next 20 seconds or so. Felipe! There's no offside flag, and it's 5 for Nottingham Forest. It's a 5-star show from the free kick, and it's Felipe with the celebration and the cartwheel as well, and Nottingham Forest have hit Saints for 5. A stunning performance from Steve Cooper and his side, and the City Ground is on its feet again.
Well, look at the pass, look who hits it. He might be offside here, but look at the pass from Gibbs White. Beautiful.
It's a great takedown as well.
It's a great take and a great finish, but the pass, the quality he brings to this team.
It's going to get ruled out though, isn't it?
Probably.
We've only had a first glance, and it looks quite tight to be fair.
What a pass that is.
I mean, Gibbs White, your man of the match tonight, surely. Been sensational, hasn't he?
It's between a couple, but he's up there. We'll save that one. Otherwise, Sam will have nothing to do after.
No, that's true, actually. Good point. Just jumping the gun. Yeah, I mean,
He's already had half a night off.
It's just whether the feet of 12 is actually playing him on. Is potentially the feet of Onuachu playing him on.
Bless you.
We can't see the lines, obviously. We're not treated to that now, but it doesn't look a very tight call, and they're very much taking their time over it. That's for sure.
It could be top of the screen as well, couldn't it?
And as we saw earlier in the season, when Southampton played West Ham, it can take a while, but they have to draw the right lines to the right people to make the right decision. Michael Oliver, Lianco is saying to him, come on, and Michael Oliver is saying, no, we're already playing 7 minutes added, it may be more, and he's offside. Well, the celebration was good regardless. A lovely tumble and flip in the air. The ball from Gibbs White was excellent, but it doesn't count and it goes back to 4-2. Here's Ward-Prowse. Thought for a minute another Brazilian was on the score sheet tonight for Forest.
If we'd have been offered 6 goals beforehand, we'd have taken it, wouldn't we?
I was convinced it was going to be 0-0, if I'm honest. In a cagey affair, but I think given the fact that they struggle to keep clean sheets.
I was going to say, yeah, 2 of the worst defences in the league, 0-0.
Even that proverbial phrase about a cow's backside with a banjo also applies to both teams, doesn't it? So here's the free kick for Ward-Prowse, about 15 yards inside the Forest half, and it swings that into the penalty area, and Lianco again was the player that was coming in, but Felipe gets a touch on it, and it's going to be another corner on that far side. Lianco's run over and spotted it for Ward-Prowse. We've had 2.5 minutes of 7 that will be added, but I suspect we'll get another couple on top of that due to that VAR check as well. Here's
if this goes in, it would be an interesting last few minutes.
He swings it across and Navas punches, and now maybe there's a counter on here. Trying to drive it forward again was Danilo, but it's good work from Walker-Peters. It's lifted in by Maitland-Niles to Ward-Prowse across goal. Navas has to clear. Comes down to Lavia. In the box, penalty. Goes down. Penalty. Has to be. The challenge on Lavia. Lavia goes down, and that's an appalling tackle by Sam Surridge. A centre-forward's challenge in the box. There's no doubt about that, and maybe we're in for some late drama after all, Danny Murphy.
Yeah, I'm not, I'd have to see it back, but I'm not sure what he's thinking there. The danger, he's just come on. There's not much contact if there is. Yeah, there is. Catches his toe. Just a little late leg, wasn't it? Good spot from Michael Oliver. Catches the end of his toes, he nicks the ball past. Didn't need to go in there. And you expect Ward-Prowse to put this away, and then you've got a really interesting 3 to 4 minutes. And they've not been in too much trouble now for a while in this game, and it could be a horrendous last few minutes for Forest fans. Biting the nails.
That's the problem, it could be. They've scored one of their 3 Premier League penalties. Ward-Prowse has missed one, but they are checking that there is sufficient contact. I can't see they're going to nail that as a clear and obvious error, do you?
No.
But it is being checked. It's up on the big screen.
Although nothing shocks me anymore. I don't know why I said that.
Did you see the handball last night in the West Ham game?
I did, yeah.
That's not handball.
Some of us are working yesterday as well. I don't only do 1 day a week.
So was I. I just happened to be at Burton yesterday lunchtime. So some of us had
was that 0-0?
It was. They had 31 shots on goal, MK Dons. Couldn't score.
They still went down, didn't they?
Yeah, they went down because of it.
God.
It was an obscene bit of defensive work by Burton. But that's killed a few seconds while the VAR check has been completed. It is a penalty, as we thought.
You're a Burton fan.
I'm not a Burton. I was working.
Oh, okay.
It's Ward-Prowse. As I say, he's missed a couple this season. Here he is, 12 yards against Keylor Navas to make it 4-3. Goes down the middle, much to Danny's disgust, and sends Navas the wrong way. And maybe we're in for an astonishing final 5 or 6 minutes of added time here, because it's now Nottingham Forest 4, Southampton 3.
Job done by Ward-Prowse. I was surprised he went down the middle, but actually late in the game you think the keeper's always going to try and be a hero.
The Forest fans are trying to rouse the home side to see out the... I mean, to be honest with you, we are, nearly 6 minutes into 7 that were initially added. Since then, we've had 2 very lengthy VAR checks. So I would say we've probably got about another 4, maybe 5 minutes of potential action here as Bednarek lifts it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. No surprise, the header's run by Onuachu, but there's a foul as well, and that's going to be a free kick for Nottingham Forest, and it's Onuachu who commits the foul too. He's all limbs, isn't he? No surprise he committed a foul there.
Yeah, they went and spent a lot of money on him and Solomina, and they've hardly played either of them really.
It's interesting when you look through the stats as well, and you think they paid 15 million for Armstrong, 15 million for Adams. It's no great surprise they're where they are.
Exactly.
Because over time, those players aren't good enough to keep you in the Premier League.
And you keep selling your best players, of course.
Yeah. Navas launches it forward. Usually we have a clear indication of how long's left, but these 7 minutes of added time are about to come to an end, and we have no idea how long Michael Oliver's going to continue to play because of those 2 VAR checks. It's 4-3 to Forest on Talksport.
What is he doing? The goalie's played out from the back.
McCarthy.
My God! 2 minutes left. Get the ball forward.
Here's Lianco, edge of the centre circle. They're still just tippy-tapping it through. Bednarek's got the right idea though. Launches it forward. Onuachu knocks it down, and it's volleyed away from the edge of the 6-yard box, and it had to be by Felipe. It's going to be a throw on the far side for Southampton. We've had an extra 30 seconds on the 7 that were added by Michael Oliver. I reckon another 3, at least maybe. Can Southampton pull this one from the fire? A point is no good for either side, really.
No.
Throwing on the far side. Launched into the edge of the 6-yard box. Lots of holding. Lianco gets it out. Lavia on the right foot, edge of the penalty area. Now a chance for Edozie. Right foot, he gets it across. Comes towards Walker Peters, who tried to tee up the shot. Bouncing around inside the area. Cleared away by Bolly. Only out as far on this right-hand side. As it's picked up by Suleimana. The crowd around us screaming for the full-time whistle. Don't think it's coming yet. Edozie on that far side for Southampton. Everyone's staying forward here. Edozie, edge of the penalty area. He's being told to do it quickly, whatever he's going to do with it. Maitland-Niles dinks in it. Lianco's there. Navas comes and collects. Falls on top of the ball and gathers at the second attempt. We've had 8.5 minutes of added time at the end of this game. As I said, we were given 7 initially. We've had 2 VAR checks. Is there late drama? Coming here on game night on Talksport. It's 4-3 to Forest. Is there another goal in this game? Navas.
It can't be.
Launches it forward. Flicked on. Surridge on the charge to the corner flag. He gave away the penalty. He can make up for it now by holding that ball in that right corner. 2 blue shirts come around him. He does his best, but it's going to be a goal kick to Forest away to our left-hand side. We are in the 100th minute of this game. McCarthy away to the left.
Are we getting paid extra for this or what? Hey, come on.
If only. They played it short again.
I know.
McCarthy. It's Bednarek. Launches it forward to the big man, Onuachu.
Bless you.
It's over the top of him. Armstrong's chasing after it, and he can't get there, and it runs out of play for a throw into Forest. Surely, that must be it. We've had nearly 10 added minutes. Michael Oliver on that far side, just telling him to take the throw in the right place, which I think Joe Worrell intends to. He looks at his watch one more time, Michael Oliver. Thrown down the line by Worrell. Helped on his way on the charge by Surridge on that far side. Lianco just literally moves him out the way to allow him to take the throw, which he does. Michael Oliver checks his watch again. We are into the 11th minute of added time. On Talksport, it's Walker Peters who. Onuachu is there. Can't quite win the header. Cleared by Worrell up the far touchline. The captain does his bit for Forest. Still no whistle. Launched back into the box. Onuachu takes it down, spins, tries to get the shot and wins his side a corner on that far side. It's going to be a corner, and here comes McCarthy from the back. Corner for Southampton. We are in the 101st minute of this game. It's 4-3 to Nottingham Forest, and it's a corner on the far side.
Found some extra minutes, hasn't he?
Ward-Prowse to deliver, right-footed, swings it over, and it's cleared away, and there it is! Michael Oliver blows time. What a wonderful night at the City Ground. Drama at every turn. A stunning game of football between two sides, going hell for leather to try and survive in the Premier League. And it's Nottingham Forest who come out on top, and they lift themselves out of the relegation zone. They're up to 16th in the table. They move above Everton following their win earlier today against Brighton. But the Southampton, they're 8 points from safety with just 9 to play for, and you feel the end is nigh for the Saints. But Forest will live to fight another day with Chelsea, Arsenal and Palace to come. They're fighting hard to stay in this Premier League, and in an atmosphere like this, I know they've got Arsenal to come, but who knows what they can achieve. A stunning night of drama, a stunning night of goals, and you followed it here on game night, full time at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 4, Southampton 3.